Joe Biden, let's put it exactly the way it is Joe Biden buying votes for $10,000 vote?
And let me ask you, could President Joe Biden buy your vote? We're hearing across the board that that is exactly what he's trying to do. A lot of strategists are saying it's pretty obvious. Now, if President Joe Biden came over and gave you a $10,000 stimulus check, would you say, you know what, I'll fill in the Biden bubble? What if he gave you that $2,000 stimulus check that was promised over a year and a half ago? Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as they're saying that this is what he's doing, and they're also saying it's not working. Man, let me get you caught up on the latest right before midterm elections. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, first off, you guys, we all know that in Congress, the motivations, it's all strategy for midterm elections. And it's very sad that all of these things are politicized when people are hurting, they're struggling. There is a pandemic that hit that was not our fault. And can you imagine the feeling of just getting the assistance that was promised? $2,000 stimulus checks, child tax credits, child care, free college tuition, Social Security increases, all of these things that were simply promised by the administration. If they just kept that, it wouldn't feel like your vote was being bought. It would feel like they had earned the vote because they had given what they had promised. And I think that's just what a lot of people would like to see. And even just the information of what's available, which is why, as you guys know, I'm assembling the comprehensive list of all the checks. Last night, I added even more of them. And you guys, I am just finalizing things now. Add your email at www.reliefroadmap.com. Stayed up well past midnight. Once again, that's 3 nights in a row. But you guys, this website is almost ready to go. I'm throwing stuff on there so that way we can partner up together and let it be known. Hey, where's the things that were promised? People still need help, and maybe it won't feel like you're buying the vote. It will feel like you're earning the vote and fulfilling the promises that were made over a year ago, the promises that were made that helped you win your campaign. And then if you're able to do that, maybe that'll help you in the midterm elections and in the presidential elections. That is actually helping people. I don't know, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. But take a look at these headlines coming out. We're going to dive right in. I've got some video footage and articles for you today. Take a look. Student loan forgiveness is Biden's Hail Mary pass to buy votes. Pollsters Nate Silver admits that Biden's student loan handout is transactional policy to buy Democrats' votes. Fox and Friends host slams Biden's student loan debt forgiveness as buying votes. And Representative Mullen of Newsmax, Biden is buying votes with student loan forgiveness. Now, take a look at this very quickly. It says college debt forgiveness is President Biden's Hail Mary pass to buy votes and avoid a disastrous rout in the midterm elections as those approval ratings were plummeting. And we heard, though, that the plan, the strategy was to start passing things right before the elections, so it's fresh in the minds of voters. But after the votes are counted, the scheme is likely to collapse. Here's why. If you have a college loan and you're celebrating Biden's announcement, don't spend that money just yet. Federal courts are almost certain to smack down Biden's plan as a brazen violation of the Constitution. Biden has no authority, zip, to issue this blanket of forgiveness of college debt without Congress. Now, we will see, you guys, because, like I said, this is a gray area. If you missed my previous video on it, it's not quite black and white. So we're going to have to see what's going to unfold here. It says the scheme is estimated to cost about $330 billion. And just to give you a little bit of reference, that's how much the first stimulus check of $1,200 cost. So a lot of people are saying, hey, if you really wanted to help out people, you could have just sent out another stimulus check. But they're saying that this is targeting specifically the group that he wants to vote in his favor, which amounts to double the entire annual budget of the U.S. Army. Only Congress, which has the power of the purse, can decide to spend that kind of money, not Barron Biden. Wow, you guys, let me know your thoughts. Now, again, if you missed that video that I uploaded yesterday on how the executive orders have flipped, how they're saying this could be challenged, how they're saying it was targeting specific groups, check that out, you guys. We're going to be seeing what unfolds here very soon because this looks like it's going to be taken to court. And if it is deemed unlawful, that is going to be a major hit to Democrats right before midterm elections. Now, if it passes through, that would be a major victory for Democrats, and their plan will win. We've even heard from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the Republicans, saying if they can pull this off, they're probably going to win the midterm elections, despite everything we've heard about a coming red wave. Now, also, we will see if this goes through, what about fourth federal level stimulus checks to everybody in the nation as promised? Everybody, $2,000 checks, you guys. And as I mentioned, the amount of spending that this student loan debt forgiveness is going to be is almost the same as that first stimulus check. And we've heard there's over $800 billion of leftover stimulus funds from previous packages just sitting there. We even heard Miguel Cardano, the education secretary, come out and say, we need to use the sitting funds from the American Rescue Plan. That is right, saying redistribute and reallocate. The president has the legal authority to do so. And why don't they do that for checks? Well, you guys, we will see, because there's money sitting there. And like I said, they could just be holding out for just the right time. We will see. It's very unfortunate, but maybe there might be some relief coming here very soon. And I will keep you up to date, you guys. But let's dive into the details. I've got some video footage you are not going to want to miss. They're going to be covering all of this. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, before we do, though, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. And turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, that is the best way to get a hold of me. Please avoid the scammers that say contact me on WhatsApp. I'll help you wipe out your debt or buy Bitcoin. You guys, that is not me, okay? To learn about growing wealth and personal finance. And as I mentioned, if you haven't already, add your email at www.reliefroadmap.com. Stayed up well past midnight. Once again, that's 3 nights in a row. But you guys, this website is almost ready to go. Check your emails because planning to get this out here very soon. So it'll probably be early next week, because today is actually my wife and I's 16th year wedding anniversary. We're going to take the kids. We're going to just drive, get out of town for a little bit for the weekend. But when we come back, we're going to hit the ground running on Relief Roadmap. So with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into this video footage and take a look at what's going on.
Is Joe Biden, let's put it exactly the way it is Joe Biden buying votes for $10,000 vote?
We have a lot of young people that work on my TV show. They're not making $125,000. They're now eligible to get, in some cases, up to $20,000, in other cases, $10,000. And this is new Green Deal radical socialism.
It would be like someone who is addicted to heroin, who's going through horrendous withdrawals. And there's a certain person in the room who says, well, only thing we can do to do away with these withdrawals is give them another bump of heroin.
Those are just some of the bizarre reactions from Fox hosts to Biden's plan to cancel some student debt for millions of Americans. And can I just say to Sean Hannity that I, for one, am totally in favor of members of my team getting student debt relief if they're eligible. Biden's plan forgives $10,000 for many borrowers and up to $20,000 for low and middle income borrowers who also received Pell Grants. It also extends the repayment freeze one final time until the end of this year. Right-wing media and GOP lawmakers were quick to call the plan a handout and unfair. But the criticism isn't just coming from the right. Some quote-unquote centrist Democrats are also complaining. Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan, who's currently running for the Senate, said in part that waiving debt for those already on a trajectory to financial security sends the wrong message to the millions of Ohioans without a degree working just as hard to make ends meet. New Hampshire Congressman Chris Pappas argues President Biden didn't have authority on the matter, saying in a statement that this announcement is no way to make policy and sidesteps Congress and our oversight and fiscal responsibilities. Pappas's concerns do raise an important issue. Biden's plan may not survive the courts. Since it would be implemented by executive action, it's likely to face legal challenges. The centrist think tank Third Way tells the Washington Post such a challenge could be based on a recent Supreme Court ruling that says the federal government can't act on policy with broad economic significance without clear congressional authorization. And with the current hard right majority on the Supreme Court, Biden's student loan forgiveness ambitions could be quashed before anyone gets to take advantage. The president hasn't yet addressed these potential legal challenges, keeping his focus Wednesday on those who stand to benefit, especially those who could see their remaining balances completely eliminated.
That's 20 million people who can start getting on with their lives. All this means people can start, finally crawl out from under that mountain of debt, to get on top of their rent and their utilities, to finally think about buying a home or starting a family or starting a business. And by the way, when this happens, the whole economy is better off.
To talk more about Biden's student loan relief plan, let's turn to Wisconsin Democratic Congressman Mark Pocan, a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Congressman, thanks for coming back on the show. What are your thoughts on the Biden student debt plan? Does it go far enough? Some on the left of your party say it doesn't, that it's only a drop in the ocean compared to the total of $1.6 trillion of federal student loan debt.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. I think it's a really great announcement and a great move to help both the economy and to help society. So many people have student debt. I was listening to the radio the other day and someone was 60 years old and they're still paying off their student debt. That isn't good for that individual. That's not good for their family, and it's not ultimately good for the economy. So what the president did is relieve what he said he was going to do when he ran. Once again, kept to his word, $10,000 worth of debt, but also $20,000 for people who are Pell Grant recipients. I was a Pell Grant recipient. I grew up in a lower middle class family. So the families and the people who need it the most are going to get the most benefit. And I think this is a really strong move.
And it's not just criticism from the left. Some on the right of your party are not in lockstep with this Biden plan. You have Maine Congressman, for example, Jared Golden, who says this plan is, quote, out of touch with what the majority of the American people want from the White House, which is leadership to address the most immediate challenges the country is facing. And I mentioned Ohio Congressman, your colleague Tim Ryan earlier, who also says, quote, instead of forgiving student loans for six-figure earners, we should be working to level the playing field for all Americans. What would you say to your colleagues on the right of the party who are pretty scathing about the plan and the president?
Well, there's all kinds of good things that we're doing for different people. When we did the infrastructure bill, that's going to create 1.5 million new jobs, a lot of them blue collar jobs that are going to be done by people in many cases without college degrees. But we've done something to help those people and their families. In this case, we're helping some people who have a college education and in many cases Pell recipients from some of the poorest families. So, you can help lift everyone's boat and do the right thing. And I think the president keeps doing the right thing. And this is just one more of those proposals.
Some critics also argue that Biden's plan doesn't address the root cause of this issue, which is the outrageous cost of a college education in America in 2022. How do you address that, Congressman? Because without action there, debt cancellation is just a temporary Band-Aid.
Well, and that's a very valid concern we all should have. We want to make sure that people aren't priced out of education. If you're smart enough and capable enough, you should be able to get that higher education. That's why I support things like Pell Grants and student loans, as well as grants. And, I think that is a very real issue that we are looking at in a number of ways in Congress. Some of those private colleges that folded and left students with a lot of debt, the president also fixed that situation. But those were some of the worst actors that are out there. Many of them don't exist anymore. So I think there is some forward movement on that, but I think we can continue to work on affordability while we're dealing with people who currently have debt and relieving some of that.
Just circling back to what we were discussing a moment ago about your colleagues' criticisms, just from a political point of view, and I know you addressed the substance of them. You said we're doing stuff for these people and we're doing stuff for these people, a good response. Just from a political perspective, it's a midterm year. Is it helpful to have high-profile Democrats like Tim Ryan running for the Senate, basically lambasting the president's signature plan on student debt?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment directly on anyone's comments. I would tell you what I'm saying when I go around my district and as I go and help other people in other districts, which I am doing, that this is a great move. This benefits a lot of people. This is good for the economy. It's good for society. We want more people to be able to get higher education and get into jobs that can continue to pay well and pay taxes that supports the overall government. There's no reason to take one idea down when there's other good ideas. Instead, I think we can talk about all the good that's come out of this session and this administration, from the rescue plan to the infrastructure bill, to the CHIPS Act, to the Inflation Reduction Act, and now something like this. We've done a lot to help real people. Let's just celebrate all of those things. That's my attitude.
Yes, you want to celebrate the wins, but what about those that are still hurting right now? What about fourth federal level stimulus checks that were promised, child tax credits, Social Security increases, free childcare, free college tuition? And if they're promised, it would be nice to have promises kept. And if there's ways to do so in a way that's not going to be adding to debt and inflation. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. How do you feel about everything that's unfolding? Do you agree with what was said? Do you feel like this is buying votes? Or do you feel like they should earn the votes by keeping their promises and sending out the provisions that the American people who are hurting were told they were going to receive? earn the vote, buy the vote. I mean, it could be the same kind of thing, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date every step of the way, as we're hearing that this could be challenged. We're hearing that there is a lot of controversy around this. We will see. And also, we're hearing that a lot more is on the way. Like I said, I'll keep you up to date every step of the way. But that is the latest, you guys. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that channel here very soon. And also, as I mentioned before, if you haven't already, be sure to add your email at www.reliefroadmap.com to be on the wait list to get access to the comprehensive list of every single stimulus check in the nation, and a ton of other information I'm providing on there for you guys as well, to reach politicians, see what's happening, stay current on everything, and not miss out on a single thing. Thank you guys for joining me once again. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless.